Welcome to a new video on my channel. I hope you're fine. And today I want to revisit the Sofi stock, since there have been some news which I think are noteworthy. And also the company has been down quite drastically today and also yesterday. Today around 7.2% and also I think intraday around 12.5%, up to 12.5%. However, after 12:30 the stock price recovered around 6%. So what about the news, which I've been telling you? So there are two major news in my opinion. The first one is the announcement that there has been changes to the board of directors, and Clay Wilkes, the founder of Galileo, will be stepping down from the board immediately, and the two persons from SoftBank, Carlos Medeiros and Miguel Combes, will be stepping down after the Sofi 2022 annual shareholder meeting. To be honest, I'm not really sure what the influence will be or the impact of these decisions. However, this would be something to keep in mind for the next annual meeting. Then they probably will be announcing new members for the board of directors at latest. So will be interesting to see, and also if there are more information about these changes. The next news, and I think this is the major news which led to the share price decrease, was the reduction of the annual guidance due to the latest extension of the federal student loan payment moratorium, which has been delayed until the end of August. And now I want to show you, in my opinion, the most important parts. So if you have a look what the management has done, the management has updated the guidance and assumes that the student loan moratorium will not end during 2022. So they lowered the guidance as low as they can for this place. In my opinion, it's a good sign and a good decision of the management to cut it down. And then if this would be the case that the moratorium will end earlier, then they can surprise on the positive, which is always better than surprise on the negative. And unfortunately, this leads to a reduction of the guidance for the revenue, and there is around 100 million of reduction. So from 1.57 billion initially, the guidance is now 1.47 billion. And also the adjusted EBITDA has been cut by 80 million, from 180 million to 100 million. However, since the moratorium should have ended on May this year, the company didn't really calculate it into the numbers for the first quarter of 2022, so therefore they could confirm the numbers for the first quarter of 2022. And also Anthony Noto highlighted that there is still strong growth in revenue, members, and also product, which are all intertwined, so sure. And the profitability is also improving, despite the fact that the student loan refinancing business has been operating at less than 50% of pre-COVID levels for the last 2 years. So this is, in my opinion, a good sign that even though there's been a major impact on the revenue and also on the adjusted EBITDA metrics due to the refinancing business, the company still almost met the initial projections of 1.5 billion for the revenue. Now, if you look, this was the initial investor presentation. 1.5 billion was the guidance, and now after the cut, it's almost the same number. So this is a good sign, and leads me to believe that the management is, at least on the revenue numbers, a little bit conservative. However, if you compare it to the adjusted EBITDA numbers, they plan to do around 250 million of adjusted EBITDA, and now it's cut to around 100 from 180. So at least for the adjusted EBITDA numbers, the company was a little bit more aggressive, in my opinion. Maybe this is also to an unexpected, quite significant increase for the stock-based compensation, which I highlighted in the video before as well. So this is something to keep in mind for the future. Whereas I'm also not really sure if the adjusted EBITDA measures are really that interesting, because in the end it's all about free cash flow, and since they will most likely increase the number of products and therefore revenue quite significant over the next years, and then if they also improve profitability, then there is no way that the only way is that they can get profitable in the near future. So not really sure when this would be, however I'm positive that it will be in the next years, and therefore for a long time this should be in good company. Remember, no financial advice, it's just my personal opinion. So to sum it up, what are my thoughts about this news? As I mentioned before, I liked the way management handled these news. They cut the guidance as low as possible, and then they have the option to surprise on the upside. And also, if the moratorium will end by the end of this year, then I think it's not a big deal for the company. However, if there might be a forbearance, then this will definitely negatively impact the company and also the share price. So this is something to keep in mind. What will be happening after the midterms? So something to keep an eye on, definitely. Still, this is something that the company and the management is not really able to influence right now, even though they proactively send a letter to the White House about the student loans, which I think is a good sign that they proactively do whatever they can. However, some things are just not in their control. So despite the fact that there's been a huge negative impact, that they could or might almost hit the numbers initially projected, that's a good sign for me. And also I'm not that negative about the difference in the adjusted EBITDA. Most important for me is the net revenue, which is climbing, and then in the future there will be profitability sometime. So what do you think about the news? Especially also, what do you think about the change in the board of directors? Any more news which I missed? Maybe some reasons behind this? Would be interesting to hear. And that being said, hope you're doing fine in the future and have a good day. Till next time, bye bye.